Hey everyone, I'm Ghost Turbo and welcome back to another episode on the family server. In our last episode, we built the second layer to our base, which included this cactus farm you can see back behind me in the distance. And today we have a lot planned, but first, let's go check out what has been producing in this cactus farm. Alright, so let's just fly on down here. And I've actually done a little bit of redesign between episodes of this tunnel. And so we kind of just elevated a little bit. So we now that this path here and the one on the other side are on the same level. And I think that's going to be a little bit better. We've also added a little bit extra decoratives to it. So that will fit in more with the theme of our base. We still haven't fixed the design of this room yet. That's going to be kind of what we're heading towards in this episode, but we have a few steps we need to do in order to get there. So yeah, so we can see what kind of cactus we've accumulated. This thing's actually pretty good. All these furnaces have smelted all the fuel, so if we come back behind here, you can see that we created these chests here that all had fuel in them and actually didn't produce very much XP, which is what we're trying to get out of this. You can see the dyes in here. So we basically need a full double chest in order to have 30 XP, and we're definitely not there. So what I'm thinking is we need to use a different fuel source besides the bamboo that we have here. So something to consider. But we're not going to worry about that in this episode. So you can see that this thing actually completely smelted through all that bamboo, and then we're now working on the bone meal. So this thing's just cranking along. We'll have a ton of bone meal. We'll still build another bone meal farm over next to the warp stem farm, but for now I think we're moving in the right direction. So let's go back up top and check out our cactus farm. So if you remember in the last episode, we were having some lag issues and I had to cap some of these cacti so that we weren't getting so much lag. And so what I did between episodes is actually downloaded a couple mods to help improve performance. So now we're using Invidium and Bobby, and let me tell you guys, the community of Minecraft is amazing because like I was already running sodium and lithium on server side, which I thought was already a really great performance boost, but yeah, Invidium and Bobby are just adding a whole new level. I've basically at least quadrupled my frame rates, so really impressed with those mods. I was also looking at the Distant Horizons mod, but it's still in alpha and there's some glitchiness to it that I wasn't quite excited about using, but yeah, the Minecraft community is just so amazing, and I love just everything that they've done here. Anyway, so let's talk about what we're going to be doing in this episode. I have a couple problems I need to solve. Let's go up and take a look at the first problem. Here it is. Oh my, oh my. That is a chest monster. This is literally everything I've been collecting since the start of this season, and we need to get organized because this is getting out of control pretty quickly. So what we want to do first is create a Shulker Farm. So we're going to go to the nether, get a Shulker, bring him back to the overworld, and we have a location picked out to build this farm. It's going to be over near our Emerald Farm. Emerald Farm's getting pretty much nerfed in the next version of Minecraft, so we might have to AFK this farm to really take advantage of all the emeralds we can get from it without having to change the farm before we upgrade. It's probably still, I would think, at least a month away, but you never know with Mojang. You can still see with traveling, I still have quite a bit of server lag. loses my position quite frequently still. But at least I have this amazing render distance now. So this is up to 32. I believe we were only at 16 before. But right over here, there's this little tiny island. I don't even know if you can really call it an island. I guess it is. But this little patch here is going to be where we build the Shulker Farm. So I got to get a Shulker all the way over here. Yeah. So this is a long ways away from spawn. Shouldn't be a problem. We can build a nether portal and bring the little guy over. Anyways, I've already collected all the resources for this project, so let me go back to my base and get them, and we can get this project underway. Let's go. Alright, as you can hear, this thing got kickstarted. I had misplaced a piston, and so I fixed that problem, and then this happened. I was at about 3 shulker boxes, and I was like, wow, that's just way more than I'm gonna need. But then I got greedy, and I AFK'd for a while, and now I have enough for everyone. So let's just grab a couple of these. This farm is absolutely fantastic, by the way. Anyways, the next project we need to work on is going to be a witch farm. I am so tired of being redstone poor, and we have some much larger, more complex projects in the future. And so I'm gonna need a lot of redstone. So let's go to the area where I'm going to build this thing. Let me show you around, and we'll get this thing started. Let's go. Alright, here we are about 4,000 blocks away from spawn, and this will be the witch hut that we're going to turn into a witch farm. So what we need to do now is we need to clear out the space around here so that nothing else can spawn, and then we can build this thing up. So I'm gonna get to work cutting down some trees and destroying a few shovels. So here we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. Check it out. I didn't do much design on this one. This farm's gonna be out here in the middle of nowhere, not really next to anything. The swamp really isn't that interesting, and even if we could make it interesting, that would make spawnable areas. So For now, we're just going to keep it like this, but let's go down here and check it out. We got our portal that takes us up to the top of the nether. And right up there is where they all die to a bunch of minecarts. And yeah, so what's going to happen is we're going to just filter all the items, put them all into shulker boxes, and then when the shulker boxes are full, they'll pop into the chests. So this thing's going to be pretty awesome. I want to get started right away, so let's go do some AFKing. Alright, so I AFK'd for about a week, and this is all I got. After the first day, I only had one shulker in there. And so I checked the farm and made sure that it was functioning properly, and it is. So these are far lower rates than what I remember. But I had to modify this design too because we did actually lose a shulker box to despawning. You can see that by just checking how many shulker boxes are in these. You can see that one's missing. So I just slightly modified the design and just to make sure everything stays in there, and that'll do the trick. But yeah, Mojang is planning on updating the rates of redstone drops in the next release, and we are going to be updating our server in the next episode, so I really look forward to taking advantage of all the new features that are available. But for now, we're going to call this a project complete, and we are going to move on to building one more farm in this episode. And the next farm that we are going to be doing is right here in the nether. As you can see, I busted out quite a bit of bedrock, and I've dug a hole all the way down to the center of this bastion. And we've already disabled the magma spawner, so as you may be guessing, we are going to build ourselves a froglight farm. I've actually already got some eggs ready for the frogs. I just need to go hatch them up and bring them over here and drop them inside. But before we do that, we have to finish clearing out the inside of this bastion so that we have a conditioned area and a space to start collecting all of those froglights. So without further ado, let's jump down this hole and get this project completed. Alright, so the last thing that we need to do is to get the frogs onto the platform, and to do that, what we're going to do is drop them through that hole in the nether on boats. That seemed to me like the most practical way to get frogs into this bastion. So what we need to do now is go hatch some eggs and bring them on in. Let's go. Alright, as you can see, we got our frogs. Looks like we got 2 of each kind. That was actually a lot easier to do than I thought it was going to be. All I had to do was get some frog eggs, and then I have some biomes right next to some portals, so just breeding them up and hatching them and getting them here wasn't too bad. So now what we want to do is we want to take them for a ride. So we're just going to get in our boat, drop them down in here. Hopefully we all live, and let's go for it. Alright, and just like that, we got them all in here. And now what we need to do is activate this let's... Oh man, that's immediate. Break some glass. And these guys go to work. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Come on. I know you're hungry. Alright, there we go. Let's get out of here. Dude, this little farm cooks. I can't wait to see the raids that come out of this thing, but we're gonna have to wait until the next episode to check that out. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like button. And of course, subscribe for more episodes like this. Thanks. Have a great day.